When a Republican strategist tells you it is time to kill the filibuster, what are Democrats waiting for? It's amazing. And check out the reasoning from this Republican strategist. I think we should take this and remind Democrats what Democrats stand for. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
As to whether or not Democrats are actually asking themselves one of the most important questions, which is, what would Republicans do in this situation, right? If given the opportunity to do away with the filibuster in order to get their own legislation through, would they do it? And I can't help but think they would, right? So now you're hearing Chuck Schumer essentially saying he might be on board to do away with the filibuster. Elizabeth Warren, of course, saying it's not what the founders intended. What do you think at the end of the day is actually going to benefit the Democrats most here, and what do you think will likely happen?
Well, I do think that you're right as far as your assessment of the Republicans would do it. They would get rid of it to get their agenda through. I have very little doubt about it. And the point of 60, and I was so for the filibuster. I thought it was one of the most important tools we had in government because 60 meant consensus. Now, getting to 60 is impossible. We're a 50-50 split country. Maybe, just maybe, Democrats could get 1, 2, 3 Republicans. And if the scenario was reversed, maybe 1, 2, 3 Democrats would go with the Republicans. We are stymied. We have used reconciliation for the Trump tax credits or the Trump tax cuts and reconciliation for the Biden recovery plan. So that's the only way anything gets done. I am at the point where let's have that discussion. You know what? Democrats want to put through gun control, immigration. They will be held accountable at the voter booth. Same thing goes with Republicans. But here's the catch, and here's what Mitch McConnell's afraid of. Majority of issues that I just talked about, the majority of the people are for those issues, want to see immigration reform. Mitch McConnell's about stopping it. They want to see gun control. Mitch McConnell's about stopping it. So go ahead. I think they should go have at it.
I think they should go do it. Listen, first I want to correct one thing she said. She said this is a 50-50 country. This is an undemocratic 50-50 country because in governance, it's a 50-50 country. However, in what people want and who people vote for, it is a far cry from 50-50. It is definitely a more progressive country than it is a conservative country based on popular vote, based on what people want. Unfortunately, our Constitution is not a democratic document and allows minority rule when you owned more land rule based on how it is structured. So let's just get that point together. But remember, the most important thing she said is that most of the issues, the policies that Mitch McConnell is scared about, the Democrats passing, he's scared about them because it's what the majority of people want. And in effect, she's saying Republicans are there to support just what the minority wants, not what most Americans want. So therefore, there is never and will not be a penalty for getting rid of the filibuster. But one other issue. The filibuster's instantiation was based on Jim Crow. In other words, old slave masters wanted to ensure old former slaves didn't get what's due them. And numero dos, it is not a constitutional mandate. So therefore, we are pegging ourselves onto this filibuster because the Senate is a deliberative body. When the instantiation of the filibuster had nothing to do with making the Senate deliberate, but instead making the Senate a racist institution. Let's be clear here. There is no value. There is nothing worth. It was simply marketing that associated the filibuster with somehow deliberateness, with filibuster with order, the filibuster with securing that the minority is listened to. That's hogwash. And it is time for Democrats to get the pelotas and do what is necessary to support what most Americans want now. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.